Hey, this is Kat Secor of Coach Kat and Dr. Mimi. And today I want to share with you the 3 habits that our most successful clients are using to lose weight. One of the women that we work with, I'm going to call her Amanda, she just hit her 20-pound weight loss milestone in 2 months, which is really phenomenal. That's not typical, but that's pretty phenomenal, and a testament to her hard work and her consistency. And that's not possible for many people. Like, losing that much weight that quickly is not possible. And even the hardest workers, it can be very challenging. But what sets someone apart that's able to lose that weight loss in a way that's sustainable and they can maintain long term? Well, these 3 habits that I want to share with you, this is a very common theme amongst all the women that we work with who are successfully moving towards their weight loss goals. And again, they're all at different speeds. Everyone's journey is different, so it's not right to compare their progress. But what is good to compare is the habits that they're implementing, and are they making consistent progress in their life towards their goals. So number one, so Amanda, I'm going to use her name as Amanda. What is she doing that you can do too? Well, she's tracking her food. So donuts, if you eat anything, it can be, something like a donut, or it can be your broccoli, your salmon, your asparagus, your quinoa, your lasagna, whatever you're eating, take the time to weigh it or measure it and then track it. And it can seem a little daunting at first. If you have never tracked your food, that can feel very overwhelming. My mom, even when I first asked her, Dr. Mimi, when I first said, hey mom, it's time to start tracking your food, I got a lot of pushback from her and a lot of the excuses. I don't have time, it's too hard. I'm working on my doctorate. Who has time to do that? I have to weigh it, I have to measure it. Like, you're crazy. A lot of pushback. But she started tracking her food, and then she gained the knowledge she needed to make changes to continue working towards her goals. So food tracking is so critical. And Amanda is a great example because she's, it's sometimes not fun seeing what we're really doing. Like, that's the truth part of tracking, is that we get to see truly what we're doing, what our patterns are. And our food tracking is kind of also a nice reflection of our emotional and how our emotional landscape, how we're managing it. So on days where we are not managing our emotions well, that's where we often tend to see fluctuations in what we're eating and the type of food that we're eating. So with Amanda, she really just embraced food tracking from the beginning and just said, all right, I'm all in. I don't know if it's going to be fun, but I'm in. And she started tracking everything that she was eating. She would weigh it and measure it. She bought a food scale, plugging it in, finding tricks to make it easier, finding fun snacks to make this process a lifestyle and not a diet. And now, through food tracking, she's able to make educated choices with her food and say, all right, if I choose to eat this, I'm choosing to say no to something else. If I'm choosing to say yes to this, I'm choosing to say no to this food. That's the number one thing. The number one habit is starting to food track. Now, a really close second habit that creates this atmosphere of being able to see progress is exercise. So I have another prop. I have a little stretchy resistance band. Consistent exercise trumps inconsistent, massive, hard workouts. And what I mean by that is, if you can work out, if you can be active for 15 minutes a day for 7 days a week, focusing on that and achieving that first, that's going to help you more in the long run than jumping all in and trying to do these hour-and-a-half workouts every day and then burning out. So number 2 is being active and having a plan for your activity. Don't just wing it. Don't just say, oh, well, if I find time this week, I'll take that 15-minute walk. Schedule it in. Be intentional with your activity, just as you're being intentional with your food tracking and your food choices. Amanda's such a great example of this. She has some physical limitations with a medical condition, and she does home walking videos. and she does home yoga videos. And she embraces what she can do. And as her body's getting stronger, which she's starting to see in different ways, then she can add a little bit more intensity each week or when appropriate. But she's tracking it. So then she's able to reflect, all right, how's my body feeling? What am I currently doing? And am I ready to make it a little bit more difficult or add a little bit more work? And the third habit, and again, I say habit because these are things that are done consistently and repeatedly. The third habit that spans across all of the clients that we work with that are really successfully moving towards their goals is Amanda checks in and she shows up. She checks in with myself and with my mom, with our group. She checks in and shares where she's at so that we can help her move through the challenges that she's facing towards those goals and not get stuck. What I find is that when we don't have a coach, I'm a huge fan of coaches, not just because I am one, but because I find so much value in them. And I personally still use a coach with my fitness and health because I love knowing that I'm accountable to someone other than myself. So why do we hold that standard differently with other people? Like if we know, all right, if we are not great at holding ourselves accountable, but we can bring someone into our team that can hold me accountable and then I can achieve my goals, oh my gosh, is that the best investment you can ever make? I think so. So what Amanda's done is she shows up to all of our calls ready and open to see how she's going to progress moving forward, ready and open to be vulnerable and stretch herself outside her comfort zone. And she shows up, period, because she's showing up for herself. She's committed to herself. So to recap, the 3 habits that it doesn't matter if the women we're working with have 5 or 10 pounds to lose or 100 or more pounds to lose. These 3 habits are the common thread between the clients who are successfully working towards their goals. And that's number 1, food tracking. Number 2, being active consistently. And number 3 is showing up and having accountability. So if you believe that any of those are something that you'd like to start developing and nurturing in your life, because again, a habit can take time to really develop and lock in. But if you'd like to start adopting one of those 3, I'd like you to click like this video and let us know which of the 3 you're going to start implementing in your life. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this. And now it's up to you to go take action.